Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be reading The Awakened Giant, made by u/hugeanimal8818. Thanks for the writer's permission. The link for the story is in the description and I hope you'll enjoy. Let's begin. The Kakrai populace roared in unison, celebrating the victory against the human United Nations. Every holo projector was transmitting the devastation of the human world of Sirius Prime. The Kakrai superweapon, the Kulkur, or as it was known in Galactic Common, the Biological Atomizer, sent a shockwave of neutrons across the surface of the planet, turning every piece of biomatter into a sort of ash. The broadcast showed humans running and being vaporized, crying and trying to hide like the primitive apes they were. Surely this would show that inferior species that the Kakrai Empire was the strongest, and as such, they should grovel beneath our feet. However, in the following weeks, no capitulation came from the human United Nations, neither a condemnation of the devastation of Sirius Prime. In fact, the human leadership was weirdly silent. Maybe they were in shock of their absolute defeat. After all, the humans were still experiencing a splintered state government, despite their ascension to interstellar colonization. Maybe they were experiencing internal strife between the human nations. That was the first sign we ignored. The second sign was the mass exodus of the human population that were inhabiting several worlds of the galactic community. All of them apparently returning to the human homeworld, Terra. But the final sign we ignored was perhaps our biggest failure, for we not only ignored it as a sign of danger, but laughed, believing it to be a sign of weakness by the humans. The erasure of the hyperlanes connecting to all human systems. It was an incredible feat, on par with the greatest civilization to ever grace the galactic stage, but we were so drunk in our hubris, we failed to realize what such an action entailed. It meant the humans were more technologically advanced than anyone else in the current galactic community. The galactic community chastised us for our barbaric actions during the war, some members going as far as saying we had awoken a sleeping giant. But once again, we laughed, blinded by our self-righteous arrogance, calling those members cowards. Especially when some attempted to send diplomatic missions to Terra to try and broker a true peace. We promised those members the same fate as Sirius for such an act of defiance. It turns out they were wiser than us. It was a normal day when every holo projector in the galaxy stopped their usual program to broadcast a message from the humans. However, instead of the usual emblem of the Human United Nations, a new emblem appeared. A golden eagle with 12 stars around it, and the human letters SPQT below. Then a human male appeared, his head shaven, and his brown eyes piercing. His skin wasn't as dark as some humans got, but it wasn't the lightest. It was somewhere in between their pigmentation levels and patterns. People of the galaxy, my name is Augustus. I am the Emperor of the Senate and the people of Terra. In the wake of the war with the vermin known as Kakrai, we the people of Terra underwent a shift. We realized that we could no longer be divided amongst ourselves when fighting enemies as ruthless as these vermin. As such, the world agreed, and instead of a single nation taking over, we all abdicated and revived one of the greatest empires of our past. My broodmate snarled every time he called us vermin, shouting insults and death threats towards the holo projector. Me, however, I felt something was terribly wrong. A heavy sense of dread was setting over me, dominating me. I got up and opened the window, and in the sky I could see a new bright star in the distance. Today is the 2-year anniversary of the massacre of Sirius Prime. That day, our eyes were opened to the reality of war with other galactic powers. We were so focused on our peacekeeping agenda and our own rules of war, we did not consider the other powers did not care about such rules. We were wrong and we paid the price. This brings me to my next point. To every power in the galaxy, I ask that you understand what we're about to do is not an act of revenge, nor is it born out of hatred for the Kakrai. We spent the last year and a half debating this topic, with several global referendums and Senate votes being issued and revised. The people and the Senate of Terra have declared the Kakrai to be a parasite and vermin, a species that exalts in destruction and misery. As such, we have voted that the Geneva Conventions do not apply to them and have marked them for extermination. I felt a chill travel down my body as the star in the sky kept glowing brighter and brighter. The human's voice felt otherworldly. We have initiated the Nemesis Protocol 30 minutes ago and began shattering every Kukrai world apart from their capital world. To those inhabiting those worlds, I hope you find solace in each other before the end, because you will find none after. And to the Kukrai leadership, do not worry, we on our path towards the stars have learned the importance of preservation of species, even those considered to be parasitic in origin. Your capital will be reaped, with 10,000 individuals being transported to a preservation station orbiting the Erebus black hole, where every possible need your species might have, from environment to nutritional needs, will be met. The world will then be quantum shifted, existing in a locked temporal loop for all of eternity. I turned towards my broodmates, whose faces were twisted in horror as the realization of reality washed over them. Outside, I could hear the commotion and the cries of panic, and I couldn't help but feel empty, wondering if this was how the humans we vaporized had felt just before their deaths. The glow was now so bright that it was outshining our star. "For Sirius Prime," said the human emperor on the holo projector as I ran towards my broodmates to hug the... Thank you for listening. I'm glad to still have you here. This is the first ever narration of a series. I hope I can do it justice. I am eager to narrate more chapters. If you have stuck around, go and show your appreciation to the writer on HFY. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.